All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. I'm glad you could all join me here tonight on this Sunday evening. It's Sunday evening still everywhere here in the U.S., except on the East Coast. It's about to turn midnight. It is the last day of April, the day that we're doing this live, April 30th, 2023. Welcome one, welcome all. Have a great show for you folks here tonight. I'm trying out a new format, so stick around. I'll explain more about that in just a few. But first, I want to make sure everything is rolling smoothly. Let me make sure that the notification has gone out. Let's give that just a second there. The back end of YouTube is rolling smoothly. And come on, YouTube notification. There you are. Now let me do a sound check real quick. Coach Eli, glad you could all join me here tonight on this Sunday evening. It's Sunday evening still everywhere here in the U.S., except on the East Coast. It's about... All right, everything is rolling well. I'm going to get right to it because I don't plan on being here too terribly long. An hour and a half or so, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. We have some great things to talk about here tonight. And like I mentioned a second ago, I'm trying a new format here. I'm going to be doing some, current news. Along with a little bit of dating, because I've been doing that for 6 years, and also some YouTube news. So let's get right to it. The topic of tonight's show is DoorDash in trouble, plus online dating loneliness and toxic positivity? One more time. Is DoorDash in trouble, plus online dating loneliness and toxic positivity? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Well, here's how tonight's show is going to go. The first half of the show, which should take about 30 to 45 minutes max, I'm going to be sharing two very interesting DoorDash articles. There's something going on with DoorDash in another state. Now, I'm here in the state of California, and in the state of California, we have special benefits regarding food delivery and rideshare driving. We have this thing called Prop 22, which no other state has, but another state is trying to get something similar. But it's even more interesting than what we have out here in California, so stick around for that. Then I'm going to share another DoorDash story regarding something you should never, ever do if you do DoorDash delivery driving or Uber Eats delivery driving or rideshare driving. You should never, ever, ever do this, or else the same thing will more than likely happen to you that happened to this one guy. It's really easy to prevent. And then we'll take a break. Going to come back and share a Reddit posting regarding online dating loneliness. It's a very interesting posting. And we're going to wrap it up with a posting regarding toxic positivity. Sounds kind of funny, right? Toxic positivity. Well, stick around. You'll find out more regarding what that means. Well, we got 9 people here so far and 3 likes. Thank you so much for being here. Please smash the thumbs up. And please also share this out. Also consider making a donation by hitting the super chat at the bottom of the chat or super sticker. Or you can also donate via Cash App or PayPal. Nightbot will be sharing my Cash App and PayPal links every 7 minutes in the chat. On PayPal, you can go to paypal.me/Coach Eli. And on Cash App, you can go to $TheRealCoachEli. And as always, donations are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. All right, let's get right to it here. Let me just check one more time to make sure everything's rolling smoothly. I had a few issues before I went live. One more sound check. Toxic positivity. That sounds real good. All right. We're rolling smoothly. Okay. All right. Let's switch on over to the browser source here. Now, this posting is from the subreddit r/DoorDash. And the title is DoorDash Doomsday. New York City could pay delivery app workers up to $33 hourly. Wow. One more time, DoorDash Doomsday, New York City could pay delivery app workers up to $33 hourly. Now, they're proposing something new in New York City. They've been trying to work on something in the state of New York, particularly, I guess, New York City, to make DoorDash driving more feasible for drivers out there. If you don't know about New York City, it is one of the most expensive cities and areas to live in on the planet. Living on the East Coast, New York City and the surrounding areas there is pretty much almost as expensive, if not as expensive as living where I live here in the San Francisco Bay Area in California. So California and New York, probably the two most expensive states to live in. And for us delivery drivers, I no longer drive for DoorDash or Uber Eats. I did do it for 3.5 months, and I stopped doing it a few weeks ago. And I shared why I stopped doing it. If you want to find out more, you can check out, some streams I did a few weeks back here in the studio. Go back on this channel and you'll find those. But yeah, no, it's very, very, expensive to live here. And these wages, are not making doing DoorDash profitable. So let's get on over and read this article here, and I'll share with you folks what's going on. This was written April 30th, 2023. So this is today. Actually, it was written yesterday, April 29th, 2023. This is today's date, April 30th. So I just read the title there. New York City proposes paying delivery app workers up to $33 hourly, DoorDash Doomsday. And there you see a guy with a Grubhub bag. That's fun. All right. Getting that pizza delivered could cost $5 to $7 more if the city adopts a new pay rate for delivery app workers. A controversial proposal by the City Department of Consumer and Worker Protection would hike pay for Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash delivery workers far past the $15 minimum wage. So it looks like New York City has a similar minimum wage as we do here in the state of California. Now, the state of California, the state minimum wage is $15 per hour, but each city has the option of having a higher minimum wage. And so where I live here in Redwood City, California, the minimum wage is $17 per hour. And for a few years now, we've had something called Prop 22 to protect gig app workers for DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, etc., where, we are guaranteed 120% of the minimum wage in the city that we either pick up the order of food at or pick up the person that's using the rideshare portion, the taxi service, right? So if I picked up a food delivery order here in Redwood City, my hourly guarantee would be $17 per hour times 120%. So you're looking at $3.40 additional. So that means my guaranteed hourly rate would be $20.40 per hour. But that's per active hour while on an active delivery, which means from the moment you accept an order to the moment you drop off the order. So once you accept an order that you get an offer on your screen, on your phone, from that point till the point you drive to the restaurant, pick up the order, and then drive to the customer's house, drop it off, and then hit completed delivery, you are on active time. So you're not getting paid the $20.40 per hour, every hour that you work. You're getting paid that amount of money while you're on active time, okay? So if you're sitting around for a half an hour and you're, only on active time for a half an hour for a delivery and you're guaranteed $20.40, for that hour, you're only going to get 10, 20, which is half of that. You don't get 20, 40 per hour for just having the app on, whether you get orders or not. It's only on an active delivery. The same thing is going to be happening in New York, but it looks like they're trying to get a higher hourly wage, which is astronomically high. A controversial proposal. Okay, I already read that. Under one plan, deliverers would be paid $33.27 per hour for time spent on active delivery. Wow. So New York City is trying to get around $13 to $14 more per active hour for drivers there than we have here under Prop 22 in California. Wow, that is if they can pull that off, man, Jesus, man, that'd be great money. That'd be great money. Then you could take all the crappy orders and they'd be subsidized by the hourly wage, right? If you're guaranteed $33.27 per hour, why would you not take every order no matter how crappy it is? And so you'll get paid $33.27 minimum, and let's say you make another $20 in tips that hour. $53.27 per hour to deliver food. That's that's the kind of money some nurses make. A second plan would pay them at $19.96 hourly for the total time spent online and delivering. Now, that's a bit more reasonable. But even then, what that's saying is they would get $19.96 the moment they turn on the app. And as long as they have the app turned on, whether they're delivering or not, they're guaranteed $19.96 per hour. I don't think that would fly, because then all people would have to do is go to a hot spot, a hot zone, turn the app on, decline orders, not take orders for 8 hours, and then get paid what? Let's round it up to $20 per hour. Get paid $160 for the day for doing nothing just because you're getting paid for your total time spent online, whether you deliver or not. That would not work. Additionally, $33.27 per hour would bankrupt these companies. I mean, there's no way in hell they can afford to pay $33.27 per active hour unless they raise the rates for the customer. And the service is already expensive enough as it is, right? Rosie Wren, the queen of YouTube, now forever and always. Hello, Rosie. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Please check out Rosie's channel. She just got recently monetized. All right, let's continue here. Wow. When I saw this yesterday, I was like, oh my. A final decision from the agency is expanded soon. I think they meant to say expected soon. That's a typo. A final decision from the agency is expected soon. The hikes would go into full effect in 2025. So even if this passes, for the rest of 2023 and all of 2024, things would stay the same. So that would give DoorDash another year and a half, a little more than a year and a half, to make as much money as possible doing things in their, let's just call them unethical ways. And making as much money as possible, and then selling the company at that point or putting it on the market. I'm sorry, my girlfriend and her dogs are in the other room, and I don't know if you heard the big dog. He likes to bark at the TV. Like when he sees dogs on the HD TV and stuff, he thinks those dogs are actually trying to break into the house, and he barks. Anyway, so this would not go into effect into 2025. Why would it take that long? I mean, wow. Okay. A law passed by the city council in 2021 mandates food delivery apps must pay their workers a minimum hourly wage. Okay. So what is that minimum hourly wage? Okay. The proposed wage hike derived using the complex formula is significantly higher than a $23.82 per hour plan the agency floated in November. That's still higher than what we're getting here in California. A city commission study said The earlier proposed rate would increase consumers' cost of delivery by $5.18 per order on average, as the apps pass the increased costs onto consumers. I'll tell you, these apps are already 30% on average, 30% more expensive to use than going to the store and getting the food yourself there. So now we're going to tack on another $5.18 on top of that. So another, let's say, maybe around a 10% increase or so on average, right? So now you're going to be paying around 40%, a 40% additional premium just to have your food delivered to your door. I guess at that point, it'll really be considered a luxury service if it's still even feasible and sustainable to run. I think most customers will not pay more than they're already paying. I know I won't. The extreme pay rate, $33.27 per hour for platforms selecting the trip time pay option, will result in unsustainable new costs for New York City consumers and hundreds of millions in lost revenue for local restaurants and businesses, Sasha Owen, a DoorDash executive, said at a hearing on the subject earlier this month. Well, you know what? As much as I hate to agree with anyone at DoorDash because I do not like the way they run their shady business and their unethical business practices, in my opinion, she's absolutely right. It would put the company out of business, right? It would put them out of business. I don't think this would work. And at that point, I don't know what Uber would do at that point. I don't know if Uber Eats or any of these businesses, any of these companies doing food delivery or rideshare would be feasible. I mean, that's a very, very high hourly rate, even for just active time. Let's see here. In a 40-hour week, the pay hike could see app delivery workers making nearly $70,000, considerably more than a first-year New York PD officer's $42,500. Wow. Whoever thought that a no-brainer job like a DoorDash food delivery driver could pay you $70,000 a year? Now, what you also have to take into consideration is wear and tear on your car and gas. Here in California, part of Prop 22 gives us 30 cents per mile while on an active delivery. So we get that in addition to 120% of the guaranteed minimum wage in the city we pick up the food in. And then we also have a healthcare stipend to subsidize, our healthcare, because independent contractors, self-employed entrepreneurs, we have to buy our own insurance, right? I don't see any of that here. So, I mean, if they don't have to provide a healthcare stipend and the mileage, this might be feasible, but I still think that wage is way too high to make this business sustainable, in my opinion. I'm already paying like $12 in DoorDash fees per visit for something that costs $15. I already know the pain, said Nick Vroom, a Manhattan sales associate who called the new idea infuriating and said he would probably start picking up his own food. Well, why wouldn't you folks start picking up your own food anyway? The pandemic is over. During the pandemic, we had to use, services like DoorDash and Uber Eats. Or we had to go, pick up the food, right? But now that we don't have to worry about COVID really that much anymore, why wouldn't you want to get back out there into society and mingle a little bit and get out of your house, and go pick up your own food? Experts warned the hikes could have cascading effects that would ripple across the restaurant industry. Yeah, everyone would have to increase rates, and everyone's already increased rates. Even McDonald's. You go to McDonald's now, you're paying like $3 something for a double cheeseburger. I remember when double cheeseburgers were 99 cents or even $1.50. The double cheeseburger is over $3 now at McDonald's. Wow. Let me check out the chat here. SilverX, I've heard rumor that DoorDash may accept food stamps soon to boost sales. Similar to gas stations, any word on that? I think that's a terrible idea. DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub, in my opinion, and in many others' opinions that have driven for the companies or these companies, we see it as a luxury service. It's a luxury service. It's not a charity service. So for them to accept food stamps is asinine to me. I mean, the cost is very, very high. People that get food stamps should be using them at the supermarket and try to get the most bang for their buck. I think that's a very, very, very bad idea. But DoorDash is one of the greediest companies, the greediest corporations I've ever seen. When I was driving for them for 3.5 months, late last year and earlier this year, up until the last couple of weeks where I stopped driving for them, they started to send me offers that they were labeling as charity offers. When you make this delivery, you are helping out a charitable, organization. And they were terrible offers. And what DoorDash would try to do is they would try to make you feel guilty to take these crappy offers and say that they're for charity. But okay, where's my charity when I'm struggling to pay my bills? Like, I'm doing this because I'm struggling to pay bills. Now you're telling me to lose money to donate to a good cause when I can barely afford to pay my bills, right? So I don't think that these food stamps, I think they're taking like EBT or something like that or whatever. They're I don't think they should. I don't think they should. But hey, I don't run the company. And quite frankly, I've actually stopped purchasing from DoorDash. I only order from Uber Eats now. Uber Eats pretty much has the same restaurants I was ordering through DoorDash. I cannot stand DoorDash. I just don't like the way they do things. They don't encourage their customers to tip. Uber encourages their customers to tip. They thank their customers for tipping in the app. They say, hey, Elias, thanks for tipping, right? I just think Uber is a much, much better company. And honestly, I was getting, for the most part, usually better offers on Uber Eats out here in the San Francisco Bay Area where I'm at compared to DoorDash. Now, yes, there was some crap that came through on Uber and there was some okay stuff that came through on DoorDash. But I noticed that, at least in my area here, the San Francisco Bay Area, Uber Eats customers were tipping better. I know it's not the same everywhere else, but that's because maybe the market share is different in your areas, in different cities across the country. So let's continue here. I'm all for anybody making the best situation for themselves, but it will increase the price of labor in the kitchen because many of the people who currently work in kitchens could just as easily be riding up and down the avenues on bikes. Right. Why are you going to do, all the grunt work of preparing the food in the restaurant and all that when you can become a DoorDash driver making more than anyone in the restaurant staff or the server? This is not gonna fly, this $33. No way. It's way, way, way too much. Said David Goodside, longtime owner of the Beach Cafe on the Upper East Side. Goodside added, I already have lost skilled cooks who have come to me and told me that they left this job making $22 an hour to work as a delivery person. Yeah, because they're probably making more money, getting more tips, and best of all, they have a flexible schedule. They can work when they want and take time off whenever they want. They're their own boss, right? City reps said they were finalizing the rule and look forward to announcing it soon, but did not dispute the numbers. And there are a bunch of comments here. Let me just read some that are pertinent here. What needs to be done is just get rid of DoorDash. I agree. I'm going to give you a big round of applause. That's exactly what needs to be done. They're a greedy company that does not care about their drivers. They only care about making money. That's all. And when their customers lie and say their food was never delivered and you get a contract violation, which luckily never happened to me, but it's happened to many others, they believe the customer over the driver, right? Even when the driver's innocent, right? That's just horrible, okay? The system in New York City works just fine when you call a restaurant and order what you want, and the delivery person brings it to you and you tip them. Yeah, that's the way it works. That was a good system. Now, there are too many fingers in the pie, figuratively and maybe literally also. Yeah, it's Tony Hsu and his greedy company. That's what it is. Agree 100%. I don't know why the restaurants jumped on board with these services so quickly. It's because they were getting a lot of business during the pandemic when they wouldn't have otherwise. The pandemic is what made DoorDash. And remember what DoorDash did. They put every restaurant, they were the first app to put every restaurant's menus online, whether they had their permission to do so or not. And they were legally allowed to do that at that time. There were restaurants and still restaurants online that do not use DoorDash, and people are ordering from those restaurants. Dashers are going to those restaurants, and there's no order there because DoorDash put their menu up without the permission of the restaurant. They do that to try to show the restaurant that, hey, we can generate you business, so now join forces with us. They're very, very sneaky. I don't like that, you know? Sure, they expand their reach, but they lose a big chunk of the sales to fees. Absolutely. I hope they do the math to see if it's truly beneficial to them. I think it is the corporate and business that OT spends that fund the most of this. Okay. If 33 is a new minimum wage, everyone needs to renegotiate their salaries. Right. I mean, there's no way in hell they're going to give delivery drivers for DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub $33 per hour, even just on active time. That's way too much money. And then tips on top of that, you could literally make $50 an hour. Who would not want to do this for $50 an hour? Yep, I'm in Teamsters with UPS, but I make $35 an hour, which is nothing in California Bay Area. You're right. $35 an hour is barely a livable wage out here. Supposed to be 40, but less due to previous contract having hybrid drivers. Interesting. I didn't know so many readers of the New York City were that obtuse. What most of you fail to understand, even though it's clear as day, is that these people are self-employed. All the expenses are on their shoulders, right? That includes health insurance, car insurance, gas, wear and tear on our car, including brakes, spark plugs, tires, rotors, everything, right? That's another reason why I stopped doing the DoorDash delivery thing. I didn't want to put any more miles on my 2017 Honda. The apps aren't paying anything to deliver. They're just a software. Their expenses are very high. Fuel, maintenance, wear and tear, insurance. I just said that before I even clicked on that part. And they have no benefit whatsoever. Now, with Prop 22, we qualify for a healthcare stipend, and that does help out. But most other states or all other states don't have that, at least not yet. So when they're talking about a minimum wage, you can't compare it with other wages like a lot of people commenting on here are doing. That's true, because if you factor in, having healthcare benefits, you can look at that as an extra, $7 to $10 per hour right there, right? So maybe that's where the difference is at. And maybe they're factoring 30 cents per mile for gas. They're just putting it all in the wage aspect. So, I mean, that's the only way I could potentially see it as feasible. Let's see. So yeah, you can't compare it with other wages like a lot of people are commenting on here are doing. It doesn't make sense. Also, the extreme plan of $33 an hour is for active time, starting when accepting an offer and ending when the food is dropped at the door. That's what I said. So even driving back to a busy spot is not active time. That's exactly what I was saying. So, let's say you're only on active time for 30 minutes of every hour. You're not going to get $33 per hour. You're going to get $16.50. So that's that. Now, if you take 3 orders per hour, and you're on active time for 50 minutes, you're going to get close to that 33 per hour. Which at that point wouldn't be that bad because that would boil down to about $10 base pay per order guaranteed. Whereas right now the base pay is like, $2 to $3 per order for DoorDash and Uber Eats. So that's when it would make sense there. So yeah, not for the number of hours actually spent working. There's not always offers being sent their ways. On a 40-hour week, they can have as low as 10 hours of active time. So that means they would get $330 for 10 hours of active time, and then the rest would be tips. But here's the thing. When it was really slow for me, I would just go home. I wouldn't sit around. If I sat around for an hour without an order, I gave myself another 10 or 15 minutes. And if I didn't get a decent order during that time, I was done for the day. I was not going to sit around and idling and wasting gas. And people say, turn off your car. No, because I have my phone plugged into charge. I have the AC on when it's warm, and I don't want to wear down my battery and not have my car start. So the more time you're sitting, the more money you're losing. That's why this business is really not that feasible, in my opinion. And they'll never have 40 hours of actual active time, even if it's busy. I'd say at the most 32 hours on 40 hours if it's really busy. I think the most active hours I had was 35 hours one week, but I was actually there's active time, and then there's dash time, which is what they call it. Dash time is when you're sitting around, not active time. Well, dash time is both active time and sitting around. So I think out of those 35 active hours, it was like 75 hours that week of dash time. So basically, I sat around for 40 hours to get 35 active hours worth of orders. Imagine if I was working another full-time job during that 40 hours I was sitting around, how much more money I would have made. You got to look at it this way, folks. This is not sustainable long-term, even if this goes through and they make it work somehow to pay you this amount of money. If your argument for underpaying them is they choose this gig, they just have to not do it, it means you're okay with corporations abusing your fellow citizens for your own benefits. That's exactly what DoorDash is doing. And see, Uber Eats is doing the same thing. The difference is at least Uber is more communicative, and they're actually trying to fight more for the drivers, and they're trying to be nice to the drivers and the customers by encouraging the customers to tip and, thanking the drivers for, doing a good job. DoorDash does none of the above. They don't thank the customers for tipping, and they don't say anything nice to the drivers in their apps. Nothing. At least Uber does that. So I'll give them that. That's disgusting. And if no one was choosing to do it, you couldn't use the service you're actually using. You'd have to go back to get delivered from restaurants which are still doing it. Why are you using these apps then? Because it's very convenient. You put your credit card in there, and all you have to do is go in, select what you want, and boom, they'll deliver it right to your front doorstep without you having to even, greet them. Leave it at the door. That's it. Because it's too freaking convenient. I can't see it happening. $70K for delivering food. If that's the case, look how many people will quit their jobs to do this. Right. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Allison Jones. Hi. This channel popped up when I was searching for a Coach Eli handbag. Oh, really? Oh, you sure you're not trolling Allison Jones? Oh, it joined December 14, 2020. Hollywood casting director. Okay. Well, welcome to the show. That's interesting how you found this. Ooh, says Zoverax. You are a bougie lady. She goes, not too bougie. Well, welcome, folks. Welcome to the show. All right. Let's go and read one more interesting DoorDash article. Then we're going to take a break and come back for the second half of the show. Yeah, I really don't see this happening, but I'll keep you folks up to date with what's going on. I just wanted to put this out there and put my spin on it because I am here in California. I did drive for DoorDash and Uber Eats earlier this year and late last year, and I learned the system. And I understand the Prop 22 benefits we have here in California that no one else has in anywhere anywhere in the U.S., which is what I'm trying to say. So Zovarak says, ladies will spend $1,000 plus on a handbag. Yeah, I was able to get my lady a handbag she really likes for just over $200 from Dooney and Burke. I got it on special last year on a Memorial Day sale, and she really, really loves it. She's a big San Francisco Giants baseball fan like I am, and they have Dooney and Burke has a San Francisco Giants nice handbag, normally like $300, but I got it for like $220 on a special. So, yeah, I get it. I got lucky though, man. The handbag she likes is not extremely expensive. I know, Allison. I was just saying, I get trolled a lot here. Allison Jones says, why would I troll about a handbag? Can I ask, what is this channel mostly about? I'm a life coach. I'm a business and personal success coach / life coach. And I talk about business and personal topics that affect people. Sometimes I'll do some current events, etc. I'm also going to be coming back from break and talking about online dating loneliness and toxic positivity, some YouTube news. So a little bit of everything that affects people's lives personally and professionally. So that's what we do over here. You can go to the About section of my channel to find out more. Or you can go to my website, coacheli.com, and you can read more about me there. Allison says, at Zovarex, yes, I have done so only on special occasions, though. Zovarex says, Allison, I think Coach Eli has been trolled bad in the past, so he is a little gun shy. No, I'm not really gun shy, not anymore. I just, I'm a talker, man. I'm a talker. Sometimes my mouth says a little too much, and if I said a little too much, I do apologize for that. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to offend you, Allison. All right. Let's switch on over to this final article here, or this final posting from the subreddit r DoorDash_drivers. And if you're a driver, never, ever, 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 ever do this. This was more comical to me, but this can happen, and I'll tell you how I handled this. Title is, my car was stolen after picking up an order yesterday. One more time, my car was stolen after picking up an order yesterday. Give me 1 second, folks. All right. Sorry about that. I had to check something out on my phone real quick. The car was recovered this morning. It is banged up and abandoned in a side street. I didn't see them steal the car when I was in restaurant number 2, especially it was locked. Proper English, dude. They did not break the window, at least. I was surprised the food was still perfectly fine and very good. That's one way to get a free meal, but not recommend unless you want to hyperventilate and have a migraine from crying. I was 100% sure I was never going to see my car again. I'm still in shock, especially less than 24 hours. Did you leave your keys in the car and the car running? Because that's just plain dumb. You never, ever, ever do that. I know a lot of people say if you start and stop your car too many times, you're going to wear out your starter. That is not the case with modern starters. Modern starters can start literally like 20 to 30,000 times or even more before failing. So, I mean, if that was the case, you should have definitely, turned off your engine and grabbed your keys. I never, ever would leave my car running on a delivery to someone's home or going into a restaurant. Even if I parked in the customer's driveway and I could see my car 5 feet away, I would always turn off the engine and have my keys. Were the keys in it? Please tell me no. And the original poster has a birthday cake on there. How did they get into the car if the car was locked and windows are rolled up? Maybe you left your car unlocked. Doesn't make sense. Original poster. Actually, it was joyriding. I don't know what other reason. My car isn't valuable but easy to open. And now you know never to leave your car running. And then the original poster says, that's for damn sure. So he didn't put in his original, post that he left his car running. Maybe this guy was just trying to get attention. Maybe this is a bunch of crap here, but I just felt it was interesting to share with you folks that you never, ever, ever want to leave your engine running with your car unattended, even if you're only 50 or 100 feet away. Anyone can run around the corner, open your door, hop in your car, and take off. Let's read a few more of these comments here before we take our first break. We're at 41 minutes. Well, first of all, Allison says, life coach mostly for men or anyone. I coach both men and women. I coach people. Yeah. No judgments here. I love everyone equally. I respect everyone equally. Yeah, great question, Allison. Zovarax, he seems to cater to everyone so far from what I've seen. Well, I've always catered to everyone. Even trolls and haters and immature and insecure people on this platform that love drama. I've tried to help them break away from the drama to better their lives, but some people you just can't help them. You can only help people that are open to help and that are ready for the help. But yes, for both men and women. Allison Jones, no reason for an apology. You're good. Promise. Yeah, no problem, Allison. Thank you so much. Silverax, I bought a friend a DKNY purse once. She was so happy. Well, did you get something out of it, brother? Did you get any loving? Did you date her for a while, or did she take the DKNY Donna Karen New York purse and run? All right. Let's read a few more comments here. I love how people are downvoting you like it's your fault some piece of shit stole your car. Well, if he left his keys in the car with his car running, that's his stupid fault. And I'm a nice, decent dude. Sure, you could have done more to prevent it. Sure, he could have done more to prevent it. Yeah, he could have turned his engine off and grabbed his keys, right? Or if he has one of the newer cars like I do that have push start, his keys would be in his pocket already. All he had to do was hit the button to turn off the damn car. And then you can lock the car by just, tapping on your door. Nowadays, these newer cars, well, it sounded like it was an old car. So if it was an old car, he would have to turn off the ignition, pull the keys out of the ignition, and then lock the door, put the keys in his pocket, and do his thing. It was laziness that got his car stolen. But it's someone else's fault for being a complete piece of dog shit and steal someone's property. No one's saying that anyone should steal anyone's car, even if it's easy to steal because they leave the keys in their car with the car running. But you could take more preventative measures, and you should. Most sane people don't leave their car running and walk away from it. There are lots of punks down on their luck or just pure evil. Right, big round of applause. Like, come on, people, have some common sense. I'm not trying to be a mean guy, but come on. Use your common sense. Literally asking for your shit to get stolen. Right. Right. If you leave your keys in your car with the car running and you walk away, you are asking for your car to be stolen. Could not have said it better myself. I've always left mine running, but then again, I live in the nicest suburb of the city. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you live. Buses don't even come here. It's an older car. I can't imagine how much wear you would put on the starter, starting it 20 times a day, every day. If you have an older piece of crap car with an older starter, I can understand that. If you have a brand new starter, you're going to have at the very least 10 to 20,000 starts before it goes bad. With the newer cars nowadays, there are starters that can start your car 100,000 times plus, right? So what would you rather have happen? Would you rather start and stop your car every time and be safe? And let's say your starter goes out. Would you rather just have an issue with your starter needing repaired? Or would you rather have your whole car stolen? Think about it. Think about what makes more sense there. I understand that, but you should know that even the best of places have crime. People get their cars stolen in nice neighborhoods too. You want to run your car into the ground by starting it over and over again, or let someone ghostwrite it into a concrete barrier, right? Yeah, I think you said the same thing that I just said in different words. It's better to keep starting and stopping your car and replacing that starter when it goes out than having your whole car stolen. The one time you feel it's not going to happen, it gets stolen, right? Doubt anyone would take it still. It's a stick shift. Oh, God, dude. Truthfully, a stick shift would deter a heavy portion of the population because a lot of people don't know how to drive stick, but a lot of people still do too, so. I have a manual, and I still always shut the car off. In rural areas, I bring the keys with me. All right. All right, we're going to go and take a break. That's going to be it for that. Just don't leave your keys in your car with your car running just because you want to prevent your starter from going out sooner. It's just not worth the risk, like what happened to this guy. Luckily, he got his car back, but it was all beaten up. And who knows what it's going to cost him to repair it. All right. So we're going to take a quick break here. An 8 or 9 minute break. I'm going to cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. And then when we get back, we're going to share, or I'm going to be talking about online dating, loneliness, and then we're also going to be talking about toxic positivity. Let me cue up that royalty-free YouTube music. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for an 8 or 9 minute break. When we return, we're going to head on over to the subreddit r/dating-over-30, and we're going to read, why does online dating make you feel more lonely than when you're not on it? One more time, why does online dating make you feel more lonely than when you're not on it? And then we're going to wrap the show by going to the r/YouTube subreddit. And the topic there is, why is no one talking about the fact that YouTube comments are now filtered to only promote positive comments? This is a disaster for critical thinking and has created a fraudster's paradise. Oh, I love talking about this. Why is no one talking about the fact that YouTube comments are now filtered to only promote positive comments? This is a disaster for critical thinking and has created a fraudster's paradise. I love people that say things like this that are absolute horseshit. This is BS, and I'll explain more what's really going on here after the break. So stick around. Stick around. Round. We'll be right show, everybody. Yeah. Got some Gunnar Olsen and Peridot from the YouTube audio library to bring us back into the second half of the show. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, let's get right back to it. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube, live on Coach Eli 2, authentic live streams, the most positive place on the internet. Glad you could all join me here tonight. Tonight, we've been discussing a bunch of things. Allison Jones, hey, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Coach Eli, new number one coach in my life. Well, thank you, Allison. I greatly appreciate that. That's very kind of you. How long have you been on YouTube, and have you been doing some consuming of content, or do you create out here as well? I'll check out your channel later on and see what's going on over there. But if you want to tell us a bit more about you and where you're from, if it's not too personal, that would be great. Again, tonight we've been discussing, is DoorDash in trouble? I shared a couple of DoorDash stories at the beginning of the show. If you missed that, go back and check out the replay. And I'll share more about what we're going to be getting into here during the second half of the show. But before I get to that, I want to remind all of you that this channel here is sponsored primarily through crowdfunding and your donations. So if you feel it in your heart and soul that you're getting value, please consider making a donation in any amount based on the value you feel you are receiving. You can do so in one of many ways. Allison Jones with another $1.99 super chat, dancing, best elevator music ever. Well, it's YouTube. You know, there are copyright rules that I like to follow and keep my channel clean so it won't get demonetized or removed from the monetization program. But I like your style there, Allison. Thank you so much for another $1.99 super chat. But if anyone else would like to donate based on the amount or based on the value you feel you are receiving, you can do so in one of many ways. You can go to the bottom of the chat and click on that super chat like Allison did and send a super chat or super sticker. On the live stream replay, once it goes to a replay or any other pre-recorded video, you can actually make a comment. You can actually pay to have a highlighted comment in the chat. That's called the Super Thanks. Look for the Super Thanks heart. And if that doesn't work for you, you can also donate via Cash App or PayPal. Nightbot has been sharing my Cash App and PayPal links in the chat every 7 minutes. On PayPal, you can go to paypal.me/Coach Eli. And on Cash App, you can go to $TheRealCoachEli. And as always, donations are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. All right, let's get right back to it here. During the second part of the show, we're going to be discussing online dating loneliness and toxic loneliness, toxic positivity. We're going to be discussing online dating loneliness and toxic positivity. Let's get back over to the browser screen. And let me get to the right section here. There we go. This is from the subreddit r dating over 30. And the title again is, why does online dating make you feel more lonely than when you're not on it? One more time. Why does online dating make you feel more lonely than when you're not on it? So based on the title, this person is saying that they feel more lonely while they're on the app talking with people and searching for a good person to date than when they're not even trying at all. So that's why I thought it was interesting. And I understand what they mean by it, but let's read and we'll go through it. I returned to online dating after a few months of being off. I go on, off a lot. Yeah, because, I mean, there's only one person that's going to be right for you. And you're going to go through a lot of bad seeds until you find the right one. Just like I went through a lot of bad seeds before I found the wonderful woman I'm living with now. And I've been together with her now for almost 2 years. But I went through I went through talking to a lot of people on the phone. Some of them I met, didn't work out in person. Some we never ended up meeting after talking on the phone or messaging through these apps. That's just the way it goes. I think it's more frustration than loneliness. And maybe your frustration makes you feel more lonely than you already felt before you came on the apps, because you came on the apps to cure your loneliness, right? Okay. Every time I return, it's good for the first week. Well, that's because you haven't been around in a while. They're going to serve you up all the best people. And then once you go through them, if it doesn't work out with them, now you're going through people that, you may not be matching as closely with, right? Then that feeling of loneliness starts to show up. When I'm not on online dating, I feel like I'm living such a good life because you're not thinking about it. You're just living your life. But when you're on online dating, you're overly thinking it, which is also why you're not finding the right person, right? You should still be just living your life while you're on online dating. And if luck happens and you find a good person, you go on a date and it leads to a second date and a third date and it turns into something more, then so be it. I think you're overthinking it here. And I want someone to share and spend time with. But when I'm on online dating, there's a feeling of lack, and that feeling of loneliness creeps up more often. You're expecting way too much. And when you expect too much or expect anything, you pretty much get nothing. Can other people relate to this? Yeah, I've been like that in the past until I figured out online dating. I've done many videos on online dating on this channel here and my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas, where I've shared how to properly use these apps, right? It's the law of large numbers. Put yourself out there. Talk to a lot of people, right? And out of 20 or 30 people you talk to, you might end up dating one and possibly marrying one. It may be the first person you encounter, or it may be the 30th or 50th person you encounter. You just have to keep trying and keep it positive and not overthink it until you find the right one, right? Same thing goes with anything else you're trying to accomplish, right? All right. Let's see here. Why do you think this happens? Well, I kind of just shared that. This happens because, like I've said before, and I'll say it again, attraction is a must and not a choice. And not everyone is meant to be, with you. There's only one person that's right for you. And until you find that right person that feels the same way about you as you feel about them, and you mutually connect and the attraction is there on both sides, 100% the moment you lay eyes on each other, you got to keep trying. It makes me wonder if I have always felt this loneliness, or if it is the or if it is the dating apps that are making it so. No, the dating apps are giving you more options than you would have had otherwise. It's the fact that you're talking to so many people and you're thinking like, well, if I've talked to 10 people and I can't get at least one to be that person I want to spend time with and have a life with, what is wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. You just haven't come across the right person yet, right? In the real world, you're going to encounter less people, right? But a lot of times in the real world, you naturally talk to people as friends. And if things end up, going somewhere, they just naturally progress without you even realizing it. On online dating, you're going on there with an expectation because it's a dating site. And you got to get rid of that expectation. Are there people who do not feel worse when they're on online dating compared to when they're off it? If so, I wonder what you're doing differently. Well, I used to think like you, decades ago when I first started using the online dating world, until I realized that, hey, it's not going to work out with everyone, right? There are people that play games. There are people that you talk to that initially feel the vibe is there, and you may feel the vibe is there, but maybe, you say something and it gets them to go the opposite way. I mean, you just never know. You just never know. You got to keep trying until, you just feel it with someone and they feel it with you, and then you meet in person and it still feels the same in person, and you continue, right? You can't let it get to you. Can't let it get to you. The problem with online dating and in particular apps is that in theory, it's a place to meet someone that likes you, but in practice, it's a place to meet a lot of people who don't like you, right? You have a lot of options. It's just that chemistry is not going to happen with every person you come across. It's going to only happen with very few people. And until you find the one that you totally click with and they click with you as well, you got to keep trying. And you can't get upset that it didn't work out with someone you talked to for a few days or so, right? Most accurate description ever. LOL. This should be the tagline to every dating app. LOL. So spot on. So true. It's like having alcohol encouragement in a bar, except no alcohol needed for online dating. Yeah, because, in a bar, you approach someone, it's called the cold approach. You're going to more than likely get rejected, right? You're going to, and you fear that rejection. If you get rejected publicly and your friends are there and, let's say you're a guy and you go and ask a woman out, she rejects you, your friends are there, her friends are there. And yeah, it can be kind of embarrassing and stuff, right? But I respect, men and women that have the balls to just go and ask someone out on the date and not fear rejection. But in the online dating world, so what if you get rejected? Go on to the next, right? Go on to the next. You have plenty of choices. Walk up to a random person who is looking for everything different than you and expecting that the outcome will still be this super romantic, once in a lifetime, going to be different than anyone else scenario. But if you are a dreamer, it is still fun to dream and hope for that 0.0001% chance to come true. Right. That's why you don't expect anything. When you least expect something to happen, that's when it happens. The original poster here just has too many expectations. Hope hurts. Hey, Eli, I think the reason online dating is harder is because lack of intimacy. What do you mean lack of intimacy? I don't understand what you're saying there. Like online dating, you're just getting to know people and you're looking to see if you're going to meet in person or not. Intimacy can't happen until you meet in person. Now, let's say you connect with someone through an app and you chat a day or two and then you go on the phone and you talk a few days by phone before you meet. You might be able to build some kind of intimacy through your words, through each other's words, but you're never going to know if the intimacy is truly there in person until you meet. That's why I say, hey, you know what? Get onto an app, connect with someone. If they seem cool and they're interested in meeting, say, hey, are you available to talk by phone later tonight or the next day or as soon as possible? And then if they get on the phone with you, have one phone conversation for an hour or so, see how that goes. If it feels right, then set up a date. And when you set up a date, don't go to dinner or coffee or anything. My suggestion is to go take a walk at a park or something like that. That way it's real simple. You're not stuck at a lunch table or dinner table. You're not spending a lot of money. You're not investing anything. All you're doing is looking to see if there's chemistry in person, which you're going to know the moment you lay eyes on each other, right? Hope hurts. With dating online, it is hard to know how serious the other person is. Well, it's hard to know how serious the other person is regardless of how you meet them online or in the supposed real world, right? It's all about taking a chance and not having expectations and just letting things flow. That's how it happened with my lady and I. We met on Match.com, and the first night that we met after she got off work in the parking lot, and we just laid eyes on each other, and we just knew. It just happened. We got lucky. We didn't expect it, but it just happened. And if it didn't work out, okay, she would have gone and talked to someone else. I would have talked to someone else, but it worked out because we weren't expecting anything. You're never going to know until you take that chance. You got to take chances, and, taking chances, unfortunately, is going to come with some pain and hurt because not everything's going to work out. If you take 0 chances, you're never going to get what you want. You're never going to find what you want, right? I encourage people, keep getting back on that horse until you find someone. If you truly want a relationship, you will eventually find someone that will be compatible with you and you'll be compatible with them, right? Some have mastered online dating. I've mastered online dating. I think my lady did too. But you know what? We found each other. So now we want to share, our mastery of online dating with you folks so you can find what you want. And my lady's going to be doing some streams with me very, very soon. She's just been a little bit under the weather lately and just resting up, but she will be back at some point next week. We're going to start doing 2 or 3 streams together, and we'll answer all of your questions and encourage you folks to truly go after what you want and get what you want. So some have mastered online dating, and those that have generally have no interest in dating one person. No, we do have an interest in dating one person, but sometimes you got to set up multiple dates in case one doesn't work out. Then you go on the next, and that one might work out, right? Now, when I met my lady, she was the only date I had set up because I was talking with her for a few days, and it just felt right. I had a good feeling about her. But even though I had a good feeling about her, I had no expectations. I just went into it. I said, hey, I'm going to meet this woman tonight, and whatever's meant to be is meant to be, right? And it just worked out, right? That's how they have mastered it. Way too much practice. Well, it is true. Like if you master online dating and you're a man or a woman and you just want to go out there and get laid and be a player, whether you're a man or a woman, you can and be very successful at it. But that's not me. And that's not what I preach out here or encourage, right? Mastering online dating should be used to find that one special person, because part of mastering it is knowing how to filter out people that are not right for you. Like sometimes you may talk with someone, like I used to talk to, some women that enjoyed the conversation with me. But I could kind of feel like, we weren't on the same page regarding certain things that was going to lack chemistry. And so I would just, end up cutting off communication with that person and not meeting them because I just had that feeling it wasn't going to work out. That's part of mastering online dating as well. Meanwhile, those looking for some real relationships come across said masters and get destroyed by them mentally. Listen, here's the thing. Any guy or any woman that's a player, I don't really think anyone's a player. I think people will continue to go out and date and have fun until they come across that one person that doesn't make them want to play anymore, right? So if you're going out and meeting a bunch of people, and whether you're a man or a woman, you're going out, you're having fun, you're getting laid and just partying and whatever, that most people do that, right? But when you come across the right person, even if you're trying to play her and she's trying to play you, if you both, are compatible, it's just going to pan out. That's the way you have to look at it. Very accurate assessment of the dynamics at play. It's a fairly accurate assessment, but I think my commentary, I'm not trying to say I'm all that. My commentary has a lot of experience in the real world. And I'm in a happy relationship for almost 2 years. And I've had many relationships through online dating that were successful. I think what I'm adding to it makes a lot of sense. Let's see here. All right, nothing new in the chat. Let's read a few more comments here and get to the final posting. Nicely said. I swear everyone I reach out to doesn't like me, but the ones flooding my inbox, I'm not interested in at all. Sigh. Well, here's the thing. Are you not interested in them because they're not as attractive physically as you want them to be, or is their personality shitty? I bet it's the physical attraction, right? One thing I tell people, I tell both men and women, okay? If you're not finding the right person, but you have a lot of people you're talking to, right? And you're eliminating some people, it's typically because you may feel like they're not your physical type. Why don't you lower your physical standards down 1 or 2 points? I'm not saying date someone that's hideous, but if you're always out there saying that you're only going to date men or women that are a 9 or a 10 on the physical attractive scale, lower your standards down to a 7 or an 8, right? And I guarantee you, well, not guarantee you, but more than likely, because nothing's a guarantee, more than likely, you're going to find someone that's going to make you happy, right? They're going to be a nice person. They're going to be an intelligent person, right? And they're going to be respectful to you more so than someone that's a 9 or a 10 that knows they're hot, that knows they can get anyone they want, right? And why would you want to be with someone that knows they've got it anyway, right? Right? Nothing wrong with having confidence and loving yourself. You should, right? But a lot of people that are a 9 or a 10 on the attraction scale, those are the ones to look out for, right? So lower your standards physically just a little bit, and you'll see what happens. I used to be very, very picky. I used to be very, very, very picky, like only dating the thinnest women and women that were like an 8, 9, or 10 on the attraction scale. I lowered my standards. Now, I got lucky with this woman I'm with. My woman's almost 48 years old, and she's just a super, super, super sexy woman. For her age, she looks really, really damn good, right? So I didn't have to lower my standards with her, but I just got lucky that she had the right personality, and I had the right personality for her. Damn, girl, look at the bright side. At least you have your inbox flooded. Just kidding. Online dating really is not good for most people's mental health, but people get hooked to it somehow. Anyone can use online dating and be successful at it as long as you give it time and you're patient and you write a good profile and you take good pictures and you take care of yourself. That's all it takes. And search on this channel and my other channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas. Links below in the description if you haven't subscribed to my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas. Just search for online dating or dating apps in the search bar on the channel, and you will find my videos on that. I've done some very, very good videos over the years that are still relevant to this day on both my channels, including this one here. I felt this in my soul. I will take the time to reach out to people I'm interested in and barely get anything back. But then my inbox is flooded with messages from men who are harassing, sexualizing, or just plain rude, or at best, just not a good match. It is the most aggravating thing about online dating. I have to delete the apps every now and then just for my mental health. I can only read so many objectifying messages before I want to yeet myself off a bridge. Okay. Well, I think this woman here is just very, very picky, right? Okay. So, so if you're reaching out to men that are not responding to you, then you're probably going for men that are a 9 or a 10. See, the problem nowadays with most women, no disrespect, 80% of the women are going after 20% of the men, right? And so you're spinning your freaking wheels. If you lowered your standards just a little bit and allow men that are 6, 7, or 8 into your life, trust me, you would find someone. I love the entitled complaining. Amen. Big round of applause. Just like I said a second ago, 80% of the women are going after 20% of the men. And this is the thing. Women that are 5s, 6s, and 7s on the attraction scale are going after men that are 8, 9, and 10. 8s, 9s, and 10s, right? So there's a huge demand for a short supply, right? And the thing is, those men that are the 8s, 9s, and 10s, they're playing the field. They're playing the games. And if you lower your standards just a little bit, you still get a decent-looking guy that would be good to you. So, yeah, I agree with this. I love the entitled complaining. If everyone you like doesn't respond and you don't like the avalanche of people messaging you, maybe the problem here is you. Big round of applause! I could not have said it any better myself. Could not have said it any better myself. It's the entitlement. And I saw this, I hate to keep picking on the millennials like I do a lot on this channel and my channels here, but the thing is, like, with millennial women, I tried to not, match up with millennial women when I was single because it never worked out. And the level of entitlement that these women, acted like was just ridiculous, right? And a lot of these women that I was talking with that supposedly were interested in me, they were like talking with more masculine energy than feminine energy. There was like no submissive nature. Now, I'm not saying that modern women need to be 100% submissive like they used to be. But, if you're going to be 100% dominant, you're not going to attract any decent man that you're going to want to be with. Because no decent, down-to-earth alpha male is going to want to date a woman that is 100% dominant. It's just not attractive to us. So that's what's happening here. That's just the truth. It's just the absolute truth. Can I just say I love your username, Yeetus McFleetus? That's funny. You nailed it, LOL. Yep, they should just turn this comment into a banner for the header of this sub. Laughing my ass off. You nailed it. I've been on a months-long break from the apps and am dreading having to go back. Okay? Thank you. I couldn't quite get around this conflicting feeling about online dating. You so eloquently put my feelings into words. Good day. All right. Enough said there. We get the point. Yeah. Lower your standards. Okay? Have some patience and lower your standards and stop feeling entitled to it, and you'll finally end up getting what you want. All right. Final article here. We're going to be talking about toxic positivity. Does that even make sense? Toxic positivity. Let me make sure that my sound is still going through okay. I haven't done a sound check since I've been back. LOL. Yep, they should just turn this comment into a banner for the header of this sub. All right. All right, we're good. Okie dokie. Last but not least, from the subreddit r/YouTube. The title is, Why is no one talking about the fact that YouTube comments are now filtered to only promote positive comments? This is a disaster for critical thinking and has created a fraudster's paradise. One more time. Why is no one talking about the fact that YouTube comments are now filtered to only promote positive comments? This is a disaster for critical thinking and has created a fraudster's paradise. So, does critical thinking have to be negative in order for it to be considered critical thinking? Or can you respond to someone with critical thought in a positive way and disagree with their opinion respectfully? See, this is the thing that people don't understand about what YouTube is doing, because there are a bunch of entitled people out here that are unhappy and miserable within themselves. They're miserable clowns, right? And they're unhappy that other people are further ahead than them or better looking than them or make more money than them or whatever, right? And they come out on YouTube and they project their insecurities, right? And they like to call that critical thought. That's not critical thought, because critical thought doesn't have to be negative, right? Right? And there's nothing wrong with, coming out and stating something negative as long as it's the truth and you're not attacking someone. All YouTube wants to stop is people bullying and harassing people on the platform, which is not critical thought. Right? And that's it. That's the bottom line. Let's read what this person said. This is a textbook case of toxic positivity. I find the comments section to be unusable now, as every comment is either mindless praise or sarcastic trolling. It really seems like the heads of YouTube are dead set on destroying their site. No, they're not. There are plenty of channels you can go to and have a great conversation and learn something, right? But do you have to go to everyone's page and attack them or say, dude, you suck, dude, that's BS, dude, this and that, right? Okay. Or can you disagree a little more respectfully? Hey, man, I came across your video and, I like who you are, but I disagree with this statement. Here's the reason why. I would love to talk with you more about it. Would you like to collaborate and do a live stream together or interview together or something like that? Why can't you approach it in that way instead of coming out here and saying that, oh, YouTube is silencing negative comments. They're only promoting positive comments, and it's a disaster for critical thinking, and it's created a fraudster's paradise. I'll be honest with you, to the person that wrote this. I really love what's happening at YouTube. I've been on this platform for 6 years, and I'm an honest, straightforward person, and I'm the first person that will call out someone's bullshit, but I'll do it in a respectful, professional, and mature way. I'll give tough love, but I'll do it respectfully. And I'm not out here to belittle anyone, right, or degrade someone. I'm here to just say, hey, look, I disagree with you because of this and that. I understand where you're coming from, and that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. Cool. No sweat. I just disagree. Here's the reason why. But best of luck to you anyway. I wish you the best, right? What's wrong with handling it that way? That's basically getting your point across without attacking someone. Do we have to attack people and make it all dramatic for you to get off on it, to be able to enjoy it, to be able to say it's not a fraudster's paradise, or YouTube's becoming a disaster for critical thinking? Or is it because you're miserable within yourself, you don't love yourself, and you want to be able to, go into other people's channels and talk shit to make yourself feel better, right? And that's the real reason. That is the real reason. Let's see here. Hope hurts. How do you think we can balance being positive with being realistic? I was just saying it. There's a 1 minute delay from what I say to what goes out to you out there. Hope hurts. So I'm sorry if it's a little confusing. Exactly what I was saying. There's nothing wrong with sharing your opinion and disagreeing with someone and sharing what you feel is the right way to handle something, but do it respectfully. Hey, bro. Hey, gal. You seem like a cool person. I'm not trying to question what you're saying, and I'm not trying to convince you otherwise, but I have a difference of opinion. Would you like to hear my opinion? Sure. I think this is wrong. This is the reason why. But again, I respect your opinion, and we can agree to disagree and still be friends. What is wrong with handling it that way instead of creating this attacking, dramatic scene back and forth? See, a lot of people do that because people will tune in for the fight out here on YouTube. And then there's no real content. All it is a fight back and forth. It's like a cat fight, right? Or a dude fight or whatever, right? Hope hurts. YT need to protect people. Absolutely. Hope hurts. 100 at Coach Eli, authentic live streams. Oh, so tell me more what you meant by that. Because again, there is a 1 minute delay here from what I say to what goes out to you. But that's all I'm saying. It's like people are saying, okay, YouTube's been trying to silence critical thought for years now, right? And they're not trying to do that. All they're doing is silencing hateful and abusive content, fake instigated drama, people doxing other people, sharing stuff online that's personal and private, and using it to get a reaction, from that person to make content at their expense. To make content at their expense. There's nothing right about that, right? That's not critical thought. That's bullying and harassment. And I put up with bullying and harassment out here on this platform for the last, many years. Only the last couple of years, people stopped doing it to me because I learned how to handle it better. I learned to ignore it. I didn't feed into it. That's another thing. Just don't feed into stupid shit. Censorship in general is a massive problem on the site, and it keeps getting worse, with the comments being no exception. What's being censored? Your hateful and abusive content, your bullying and harassment, right? Right? Sharing nudes on the platform, okay? Using slurs. I mean, in my experience, I've seen comments get blocked for swearing in any capacity. Yeah, that depends on the creator. You can allow swearing or not. On mine, they get held for review. I don't have a problem if somebody swears as long as it's in the right context. One of my dogs in the other room is barking at the TV again. My lady's in the other room with the relaxing with the dogs. Referencing anything sexual. Yeah. Valid medical terms. It all depends on the context, and it all depends on how that particular creator has their comment section set. I have my comment section set to hold potentially inappropriate comments for review, and I've also checked the box that says increased strictness, because I don't want trolls to be able to spew their hate here. I want to keep this a drama-free zone and a zone full of positivity. That's my choice. If you want to run your channel differently, that's on you. You can allow some of that stuff to go through, but at the end of the day, if you let too much of it go through, or if it violates the terms of service or community guidelines, you risk having your channel terminated. Links to outside sites could be considered spam. References to outside sites, links to other videos on the platform. No, links to other videos on the platform never had problems with. Why would YouTube do that? They want to keep you on the platform longer. Variations of the word, okay. I see. I'm not going to read those because, yeah, I mean, some things could trigger the artificial intelligence, sure. And just to clarify, let's see. Just to clarify, this is not a matter of sorting comments by new first or top first. If your comments blocked, it won't show up regardless of how you sort it. It's gotten to the point that I don't even trust that my comments will show until I verify by using YCF or going incognito. Well, you can use another account and check it out. It pains me when people say things like you can still swear on YouTube or act as if this is a problem that only affects monetization, because that's just not the case. No one's trying to make money off their comments. You can swear in the right context, but you just can't do it in the first, I think it's 15 seconds of the video is what it is, 8 to 15 seconds of the video. And you can do it occasionally. If you do it more than occasionally, then why would anyone want to monetize that video? All right, let me actually, it says, finally, here's a tip, and it says reveal spoiler. I'm going to go back to full screen. I want to check out what the spoiler is before I put it on the air here. All right. All he was saying is that you can use other symbols, so you can still write swear words, and it'll bypass the spam filters. So instead of SHIT, you can put SH1T. The thing is, the spam filters catch that now, and it's up to the individual channel owner if they want to approve that comment or not. All right, let's go back to the browser source. Let's see. Hope Hurts says, as you said, many people want to hurt others to make themselves feel better. YT needs to protect those people being hurt. The Hope Hurts, the new CEO of YouTube, Neil Mohan, who replaced Susan Wojcicki a few months ago, has obviously taken a strong, very strong stance on hateful and abusive content, cyberbullying and harassment, circumvention of the company's system, etc. And there have been lots and lots of channels that have been removed lately, not only from the YouTube Partner Program, but removed completely. So it is getting better, and that's why a lot more people are starting to complain, because what they used to be able to get away with, they're not able to get away with anymore. They're not able to come out on YouTube and project their insecurities as much, and talk smack about other people, and find another group of people that's just like them that'll pay them money to do that, and then other good people like me, come out here on this platform to create real content, and then these people that are hateful find out about us and make our lives miserable and steal our content and sell our content to their audience. It's just horrible. I dealt with this crap out here for many, many, many years, and it's really, really nice to see some change finally happening. I'm grateful for it. But thanks for your comment. Great comment there. Let's read a few more here, and then we'll wrap this up. Comment, remove my moderator. YouTube mod team. Our YouTube does not allow toxic behavior. Please remember to be civil. That's great. Wow. -8 votes on that? No, -8 downvotes. 8 downvotes. Oh. YouTube will pause my comments for defending myself against the assholes that leave mean comments. According to YouTube, they think it is okay for people to respond to my comments first with insults, but not okay for me to speak against them. My comebacks were not only insulting, but I was really going to show why the cyberbully started it. And other times my comments were paused, which I'll use the phrase, it's called, the video is so entertaining. It was on a troll, a scammer video, and my comments are paused. Go after yourself, YouTube, I hope. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Also, guys, for swearing, I just can't get over the frustration. If any victims are dealing with this too, then I feel you. YouTube seems to defend the bad guys. When a comment makes me mad that isn't about me, then I ignore it. But when I comment for something without responding to anyone, people that get mad will use insults. Plus, I'm not the one trying to piss anyone off when one person is about to reply, so it can't be my fault. Sir, I think it's a guy here. If it's a woman, it doesn't matter. To whoever wrote this, how about just ignoring this stuff and letting it go? Why are you going to fight fire with fire? Why don't you fight fire with water? Put out the fire by not responding. Because the people that are talking shit about you and coming at you are very immature, insecure, and more than likely mentally and emotionally unstable people that are never going to benefit your channel. They're never going to donate to you. They're never going to, watch your videos all the way through and give you watch time. They're not even subscribed to you. Right? And they're going to thumb you down, right? Even though you can't see thumbs down anymore, people can still thumb you down, right? So why waste your time with these people? I had to learn this the hard way. I used to go toe-to-toe with these people for years, and all they did was take my content where I was responding to them and coming back at them and selling my content to their audience and making more money with my content to their crappy audience with their crappy content than I did on my channel. That's all that's going to happen. The best thing to do is to let it go. Don't respond. Okay? If it's on your channel, delete that comment and let it go. Because if you're going to respond in a negative way and talk shit back to them, you're no better than they are. So why shouldn't YouTube remove that? Come on, dude. Grow the hell up. How old is this dude? Seriously, man. Hope hurts, as you said. Okay, I already read that. Sorry, I already read that. Let's continue here. Read a few more. We are at 1 hour and 41 minutes. Maybe it's just the negative shit comments are downvoted enough to not be shown. I don't think the downvotes have anything to do with it. It has to do with what you type. YT comments are sorted for me by newest and most upvoted. I don't think it will be sorted by most downvoted because who wants to look at asshole comments? Some people do. There are a lot of very unhappy and miserable clown type of people out here on this platform that come out here looking for miserable stuff because they can relate to it and it makes them feel better. It cures their loneliness of not having anyone around. But the reason why there's nobody around them is because they're miserable. And nothing will ever turn around with these people until they start to love themselves more and remove themselves from these hateful situations. Problem, it's the internet and 2023. Did you mean to say problem? There is the internet in 2023. A vast majority of the time, the most upvoted is the most idiotic comment. The most downvoted is the one telling the actual truth. And guess what? The most idiotic comment that's upvoted the most is the same person from multiple sock accounts thumbing themselves up. The most downvoted one is the one telling the truth, and it's that same person or his hate group or her hate group that's downvoting you calling them out on the real truth. Oh, that's without a shadow of a doubt. True. Everyone's a comedian, but no one can be serious. Comment removed by moderator. YouTube mod team. Per rule 2, our YouTube does not allow toxic behavior. Please remember to be civil. The original poster says, I wish it was just sorted by top comments, descending like Reddit does it. Okay. I think they're right. I noticed that I get paused only when I comment on identity politics, videos, and challenge their worldview. They're notorious for using deplatforming as a tool to silence dissidents. They usually don't reply, but I get paused, meaning that they're probably flagging my comments in the mass. Well, maybe the channels you follow are hateful and abusive channels that bully and harass people, that, use racial slurs and very, very derogatory language that no normal human being would use in the real world. So why should we be allowed to use it on YouTube? Come on. Reddit does something similar. It seems like if there's any comment that goes against grain, even if it is thoughtful and respectful, it will be obscured from sight. This only facilitates the echo chamber and disallowing dialogue from other perspectives. You know what? This is people from the far right, people that are actually on the alt-right, the fake conservatives. You all think that you're being silenced. This is fake conservative alt-right speak. This only facilitates the echo chamber and disallowing dialogue from other perspectives. No. It is squashing your hate and abuse and bullying and harassment because you're a miserable fucking clown and you're just mad that YouTube is taking a stance to stop your misery around their platform so it can be more positive. Any of you grown-ass adults out there that feel, this negativity being silenced is wrong, then the problem is you. You're a hateful person, and the truth of the matter is, you just hate yourself. I'm going to read one more here, then wrap this up. There's a reason controversial labels exists. It's a double-edged sword where a lot of it is filtered and comments that are not really contributing much to the discussion, but at the same time, anything other than the positive outlook or current negative fuck your trend towards big company doesn't make it anywhere. It is a tough situation for all platforms depending on what purpose we want them to serve at this point versus them making monkey for themselves, or you mean money. It's quite complicated, but as a general rule, I'd prefer to see all comments rather than filtered positive comments. I don't have a problem seeing all comments as long as these comments make sense. If there are comments where a creator or someone in the comments section is being attacked for their opinion and they're called a racial slur or something like that, that should be silenced in my opinion. We don't need that. We don't need any of that. It just depends on how it's worded. If you want to get your point across and be straightforward, you can still do it without being hateful. Just be straightforward without being hateful. You can agree to disagree in a more respectful way. But you want to be allowed to be disrespectful, and that's the problem. The default is to hide comments with -4 or lower, but you can change that in the Reddit settings. All right, that's going to wrap it up here today, folks. Let's go back to full screen here. Hope Hertz says 100 at Coach Eli, 2 authentic live streams. Thank you for being here. Hope Hertz. Great to meet you. All right, folks, we're going to get on out of here. We are at 1 hour and 47 minutes. Tomorrow, I will more than likely be doing at least a Walking with Purpose stream. And my lady and I might do a show later in the evening or in the afternoon at some point. Or sometime later this week. So keep it locked here to Coach Eli, 2 authentic live streams. Also, make sure you go below the description and subscribe to my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. Links in the description, a couple lines down, or just go to youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. That's youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. Also, If you folks want to donate to support the channel while we're still here, you can super chat or super sticker by hitting the $sign. You can also hit the super thanks once the live stream replay is done processing, or at any time you can donate via Cash App or PayPal. On PayPal, paypal.me/Coach Eli, and on Cash App, $sign the real Coach Eli. And again, donations are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. And tomorrow's build day, so any last minute PayPal or Cash Apps would be appreciated. But if not, hey, it's okay. There's always next month. New month starts tomorrow. See you all next time. Take care, and as always, be good to each other.